movies or TV shows that you may have missed, Volume 1. So a lot of people will ask me to recommend them movies or TV shows, and I will make a recommendation and be mad if they don't watch them. And what people are really looking for are those hidden gems. Now, these aren't necessarily hidden gems, but they're movies that a lot of people just missed. From people I talk about these movies with, they've never heard of them, or they heard about them but never watched them. And I'm here to educate you on some movies besides comic book movies that you may have missed, and one TV show. And obviously, the landscape of theater has really changed. It's dominated by mostly comic book movies now, and I think that's why I wanted to do this. Now, this could be a weekly thing, depending on how many people watch this and, participate in the comment section. I'll definitely do one more because I have other movies and one more TV show that I definitely want to make recommendations to that aren't necessarily big blockbusters, but make sure if you're a fan of these movies or if you plan on watching these movies that you let me know in the comment section. Give the video a smash on the like button and subscribe to the channel, join the team, and show your support. So starting things off is the only movie that I don't own that I'm going to talk about today. It was my favorite movie of 2021. It's an Amazon Prime exclusive. It came out July 1st of 2021. It needs to be fucking released on Blu-ray or 4K. Hopefully that happens, although I don't think it's going to be, surprisingly enough. But that would be The Tomorrow War. It stars Chris Pratt, J.K. Simmons, and Yvonne Strahovski, with other people. I just can't remember their name. And the movie's, this is how it kind of goes. There's a party or get-together at somebody's house. They're watching a soccer game. And during this soccer game, all of a sudden this portal opens and a bunch of people come out of this portal. It's people from the future. And they say, there's a war in the future with aliens. We are getting our ass kicked right now. So now you know, let's do something to improve our standing. Because otherwise, the human race is going to be wiped out. The movie kind of reminds me of Starship Troopers to a certain degree. But I really enjoyed the movie. Now, obviously, it's a little far-fetched. I'm not going to lie. But I just really like this movie. I think I've seen it now 7 times, and it doesn't get old. I want to own it ASAP, and Amazon needs to get their shit together so I can buy it, but I really like it. Again, it's far-fetched. It's like Starship Troopers. It's just fun to watch, though. My opinion, but check out The Tomorrow War. Now, I heard about that movie from watching most anticipated movies of 2021 from 3C Films. Chris from 3C Films. So give him credit if you watch the movie as well. I love it. He loves it. And that's my first recommendation. Next up, we have a movie that was just talked about on Sledgehammer Horror by Ken and Ashley Sledge. It's a movie that not a lot of people know about. Some do, some don't. But I enjoy it. And that would be Identity. Yes, I have it on DVD. A lot of these movies are older than I'm talking about today, so I don't have them on Blu-ray or 4K. Identity is very good. It stars John Cusack, Ray Liotta, rest in peace, Ray Liotta. That just happened yesterday. It's unfortunate. And Amanda Peter, the 3 big people that John McGinley's in it. Pruitt Taylor Vince is... Nonetheless, so the premise is this guy is on death row. He's about to be executed. And they're doing a last-ditch effort late at night to try to get him from getting the lethal injection or whatever, how he's going to die. And the other side of the story is there's a bunch of people staying at this hotel, and each of them start dying left and right, and then the key's left behind. And then, of course, you've got this guy they're trying to get off from, this guy that's done crimes, but they're trying to say it was his multiple personalities doing the crimes and not actually him. Alfred Molina is like one of his attorneys or something like that. So the movie is crazy. There's lots of twists and turns in it, and it's a lot of fun. It's well acted. And for its time, I think it was 2003. I believe so. 2003, 2004, somewhere around there. Yeah, 2003. I really enjoyed it. Jake Busey's in it. For Morlina. Clea Duvall's in it as well. And then Pruitt Taylor Vince, who was Otis on The Walking Dead Season 2. Yeah, you probably don't really pay attention to Otis on Season 2 of The Walking Dead. But he is the guy that's going to be executed. So I enjoy this movie. It's awesome. And obviously watch Sledgehammer Horror for their breakdown on Identity, because they really give a good in-depth review of the the movie, and I really enjoyed it. So Identity is definitely one you should check out if you haven't already. Next up is something that I never heard of myself. I just heard about it a few years ago from somebody's movie collection, and it was Cody Leach. I'm sure you're all familiar with Cody Leach. Cody Leach, during his long movie collection video, said that if there's one movie that you're going to watch this movie, Rudderless. And I eventually watched it. There was a TV show that I watched during that because of that, and a movie, and this was the one. But the premise of this movie is a guy's son, and this is kind of a touchy subject right now, but a guy's son dies in a shooting. I think it's a school, if I remember correctly. I've only seen it one time, a school shooting, and his father is really broken up about it. So years later, he looks through some of his son's stuff and finds like these song lyrics. And what his father does is ends up going to an open mic night hosted by William H. Macy, who's actually the director of this from Shameless. He's not a big role in the movie, but he's the host of the open mic night. But he starts performing his son's songs during these open mic nights. And eventually, Anton Yelchin of Star Trek, Chekhov, rest in peace, he died tragically years back, starts performing with them. Actually, you know what? I think... Yeah, okay, so he starts on his own, and then Anton Yelchin's character starts performing with him. I think that's how it happens. And the movie just... there's a twist in the movie that you're not expecting. It certainly blew me away, because I was not expecting this, but it's really fun to watch. I can't really talk more about the movie, because otherwise that would give things away, but it's a really good movie. I mean, it's a drama. It's slow, but it's got comedy in it, too. But I liked it. It came out in 2014. Okay, I thought it was older than that, but 2014. It's available on Amazon. Last time I checked, I think it's free to rent on Amazon. But Rudderless is a good movie, and you should definitely check that out. And thank Cody Leach, because he absolutely loves this movie, and so do I. Next up, another movie that a lot of people know about, and a lot of people don't know about. I'd say it's half and half. Rudderless, maybe 5% of people I've talked to heard about that movie. But this was an awesome movie, and I'm talking about Brothers. So Tobey Maguire and Natalie Portman are a happily married couple. I believe they have 2 daughters. It's been a while since I've seen it, so my facts might be a little off. And Jake Gyllenhaal's character is Tobey Maguire's deadbeat brother. He always gets in trouble. He's like the black sheep of the family. So Tobey Maguire decides that he wants to go on another tour of Afghanistan. It's his 4th tour, so he's leaving his wife and his kids behind. And during this tour, he gets captured and tortured. Now, back at home, Natalie Portman's character and Jake Gyllenhaal, they think he's dead. They think he died. So eventually, Jake Gyllenhaal starts to try to fill his shoes and acts good and tries to be a good person and provide for the family and start a relationship with Natalie Portman. So this goes on for a while. It's not like it happens over a 2-week time period. I don't remember how long the movie takes place during, but it's like 4 or 5 years or something like that. But and then Tobey Maguire, who's getting tortured and forced to kill other soldiers or be killed, and he's got to do what he has to do to stay alive. And then eventually they find out that he is alive, and then he comes back, and then he's screwed up in the head and crazy when he comes back. And then what do you do with this situation with Jake Gyllenhaal and Natalie Portman versus Tobey Maguire, who's back now, and he's her husband. So it's just a crazy movie. I'm not a big fan of Tobey Maguire. I actually can't stand him. However, this is the one movie that I really like him in, and that's Brothers. He does a phenomenal job in this. Everybody does a phenomenal job. And again, it's a movie that not a lot of people talk about, and I want to make sure that you definitely talk about it. So check out Brothers. I don't know what streaming sites it's on, but it's definitely worth a watch. And then lastly, I'm here to talk about a TV show. It was a TV show that was on FX. It was 4 seasons long. My ex-girlfriend Kim and Trev of Trev's Chan 2 had talked about this a lot, and that is a TV show called The Strain. Now, the premise initially starts off with a plane that lands on the tarmac, and nobody comes out. and when all the windows are closed and nobody comes out. So they're like, what the fuck is going on here? This plane has landed and nobody's coming out. So they eventually get members of the CDC on the plane, and everybody on the plane is dead. Yes, everybody on the plane is dead. Like, what the fuck is going on here? And so they're investigating the plane. They've got the people on the CDC on the plane with their hazmat suits on and everything. And then while they're on there, random people on the plane, not everybody, but random people wake up. They were dead, as dead can be, and all of a sudden they're up walking around. Because there's this vampire virus that has spread, and people are becoming it's not, I don't know, vampire-ish, but it's entertaining. Now, some people complain about the shows, like the character names are kind of weird, like because it's based off a book. So you've got the main character is called Efren Goodweather. He goes by. You've got an old man that seems to know everything about what's going on, who's on Game of Thrones, John Bradley. Or no, not John Bradley. No, I can't remember. Is it John Bradley? Whatever the case may be, Abraham Satrakian, just weird character names. But if you can look past that, I think this show is really good. It's really solid. I think it starts good. Actually, my opinion, it's got one of the best premieres I've ever watched. I will say that about the show. Now, do I think it's the best show ever? No. But it does have one of the best premieres, I think. It does have a recast after the first season. That really bothers me. I liked the initial person. I definitely liked the initial person. The recast was terrible in my opinion. And a lot of people that I've recommended the show to say the same thing they had. I'll tell you what happens. The Efren Goodweather's character, his son gets recasted, and I don't like the new actor that plays his son. My opinion, you may, but I doubt you will. You'll hate him too. But the show is awesome. Now, I think it has a good start, decent middle. And then the last season, they kind of start off kind of separated, like all the main characters are separated. So the first few episodes aren't that great, but it does have a satisfying ending, in my opinion. It's not the greatest show ever, but I really liked it. It has a clear ending. Like they got word that, hey, we're not going to renew you, so end the show. You know, do what you need to do to get to an ending point. And I really liked it. So The Strain is a show that I'd recommend. You can watch it on Amazon. I'm sure it's on Hulu too. I don't ever actually go on Hulu, so I don't know how Hulu works, but it's definitely something I would recommend, and you should check it out. So again, the shows, and I guess I should show you that I own it, mostly on DVD. For some reason, they didn't release many Blu-rays of it, but Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, and Season 4 of The Strain. And again, this was an awesome series. I actually might rewatch it soon to do reviews of it on the channel if more people would watch them. We have Brothers, Rudderless, Identity, and then Remember the Tomorrow War that I don't own because Amazon fucking won't release it. But these are all the movies that you should watch. And that TV show that you should watch. I'll be back again with another one of these because I got a few more movies that I definitely want to talk about and one more TV show for sure. If this is a success, I can certainly keep doing this. You know, maybe not as much, but, you know, maybe once a month. But I definitely want to get the word out there that there's other movies out there besides comic book movies that are awesome. So I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said before, if you're a fan of this type of thing, smash the like button. If you want to talk about these movies, avoid spoilers, please. Do that in the comments section. Share or favorite or whatever you need to do. Share this on any social media platforms. And last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.